You're tuned in to Oilers Nation every day with Tyler Yaremchuk, live every weekday on the Nation Network YouTube.
Welcome in, Oilers Nation Everyday Friday edition. An idea I thought of right before the show. I should have shotgunned a beer because it's Friday. That'd be hilarious. I'm sure no issues would come from me shotgunning beers live on the internet. As always, we're coming to you live from the Sports Closet studio. Kylie might have a lead on an S, so I can stop using the weird and sign. That'd be huge. Shout out to our friends at the Sports Closet, 3 locations in Edmonton. Also, they have brand new Mitchell and Ness NHL hats on their site. They are unbelievable. So sick. Check them out, sportscloset.ca. Lots to get to today on the show. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go to the lead. Early in the season, there are a lot of overreactions for a lot of different reasons. The Arizona Coyotes might not win a hockey game this season. They could legitimately go 0-82. So could the Vancouver Canucks. They're both that bad. Kidding on the Canucks thing. But the Oilers, they might go 82-0. Connor McDavid might score 60 goals this season. The Oilers' blue line is not good enough and will not get them out of the first round. See, lots of overreactions. There's only been like a handful of games played. People like freaking out about small sample sizes. But there's been one overreaction that I really want to talk about. Evander Kane did a nice gesture by passing the puck to Connor McDavid with the empty net. You know, he could have easily put this puck in himself and picked up his first goal of the season. Connor McDavid was wide open. If you don't pass that puck, for lack of a better phrase, you're kind of an asshole. Anyone who's played hockey at like any level knows that, hey, if you're going in and it's an odd man rush with an empty net, you try to pass to the other guy. Everyone gets on the score sheet. Everyone gets a bump on the stats page. It's cool. Evander Kane, good job. Good on you. You could have gotten your first goal of the year. You didn't. McDavid was going for a hat trick as well. Like, it's not like Connor McDavid also had no goals on the season or just had one goal. Like, opening night hat trick. If Evander Kane doesn't pass that puck, it's a really, really bad look. People are acting as if he's the greatest teammate ever now. And listen, I'm not like shitting on Evander Kane by any stretch of the imagination. It was a nice moment, but there have been articles written, best teammate, Evander Kane. He's now completely redeemed any sort of character flaws he has. Absolute redemption story because he passed the buck. Every talk show, for the most part, which I guess I'm doing as well, is leading their show with, wow, Evander Kane. What a selfless act. That was unbelievable. And I don't know. We're going to bring in Liam because I don't know if I'm just being grouchy about this. But, like, I feel like he's getting a lot of play and a lot of really good press for doing something that's just the bare minimum. Like, that's my point.
I can't believe there's been stories about this. Like, I just, you know, when it happened, it was, oh, nice. Really good for you, Evander Kane. Like, thanks for passing the puck to McDavid to get that hat trick. Like, there's certain scenarios when this just kind of needs to happen. Like, first career goal, maybe, a guy trying to end a streak of no goals or whatever, a guy on a hat trick. Like, this isn't anything out of the ordinary that should have happened. And yeah, like, massive overreaction. Like, hey, maybe this happens again and it slows down. I don't know. Like, just kind of, yeah, good for him, I suppose. First assist of the season for Evander Kane. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think some of the play, this is getting, like Jilly says in the YouTube chat, 100% so blown up. It's like, you know, you don't get like a medal when you stop for someone at a crosswalk and you're driving. You know, like there's certain things, you putting your shopping cart back in the little carousel thing, whatever it's called. You know, these are just things you do because it's like the normal thing to do in society. The hockey equivalent is passing to your teammate when it's an odd man rush and you have an open net and they're going for a hat trick. I don't know. It was weird.
Maybe he has an assist bonus.
Yeah. For people who I saw someone had a parlay out there and it was a same game parlay that was like 20-1. And all they were missing was an Evander Kane goal. And for that guy, like, he probably is really mad at Evander Kane. Anyone who bet Evander Kane anytime goal scorer was like, whatever, pissed. But again, you pass that puck 100 times out of 100 when you're in that scenario. And it's not like Kane is all of a sudden this like great guy for it. I don't know. I thought it was funny. Brent says, I think the attention is that no one thinks Kane is all about Kane, so expected him to not pass. Again, like, I don't think he's not a bad guy. He's not a bad teammate. He's not poison in the room like some people maybe thought he was going to be, but I don't know. Anyone would do that. The worst teammate in the world probably still passes that puck to Connor McDavid, the best player in the league, your captain. Like, I don't know. It really got overblown is kind of my point. John in the chat says, I almost threw up seeing that ticket. Yeah, that's like an all-time bad beat. I saw Zach Lang had a really bad one the other night too. He did like a 30-1 player shot parlay and he missed it. One shot on goal from Kevin Fiala. My bad beat last night was watching the Vegas Golden Knights not be able to score into the empty net with like 2.5 minutes of the goalie pulled. Also, Alex Stalock stops like 36-37 and the Golden Knights don't cover the puck line. Brutal. Sergeant Battle, happy BOA Eve, everyone. Excited to join my first Nation watch party this weekend. Yes, nationgear.ca is where you can get your ticket. We are going down to Soho, downtown Edmonton. Little watch party action for Oilers, Flames. $25 is your ticket. And along with that, you get some swag, some GCs, a shirt, and you get into a dope party. It's going to be a really good time down at Soho. Nationgear.ca is where you get your tickets to that. BaggedMilk's going to join us in like 5-6 minutes. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff in that. The Canada, is Bag Cream going to bro down in the Alpha today? If he showed his face, I wouldn't put it past him to do his hits from the Alfa Romeo, kind of like Gregor did yesterday, doing his hits from his Volvo or his Volkswagen. I think it's Volvo. Brent, sorry, I meant haters think Kane is all about Kane. Yeah. I probably read it wrong too. I knew what you meant. Danger Suede, let's raise a banner for most teammate ever. And that's my point, is like people were more or less like raising a banner, being like, look how great Evander Kane is. And it's like, man, can you, like, I would be opening this show with a rant if he didn't pass the puck, being like, what an ass. So again, all good. Any other overreactions from the beginning of the season? You can let me know in the YouTube chat. We are going live on Twitter and Facebook as well, but I only read the YouTube chat. I can only pay attention to one chat at a time. So if you want your opinion heard, you got to go into the YouTube chat. Those are the rules of the show. George, hoping the Oil give Calgary a reminder of who the kings of the BOA truly are. Flames fans like making fun of Oilers fans for like, oh, you're raising up a banner for being BOA champs and all of that. Nah, I don't care. Kings of Alberta, that's the Edmonton Oilers, and they get a chance to reassert their dominance on Saturday night, Battle of Alberta, which will feature some new look lines. That's certainly exciting. Jason Gregor had the lines from practice today. I will rattle those off for you right now. Connor McDavid centering the top line with Zach Hyman on the left side and Jesse Puljujarvi on the right side. Leon Draisaitl with Evander Kane and Kyler Yamamoto. Yes, Kyler Yamamoto is expected to be in the lineup for the Battle of Alberta tomorrow night, and he's not the only one who will be making his season debut. On the third line, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with Dylan Holloway. And on the right side, it's Warren Foegele. Foegele missed the first game with an injury. He's back, expected to play in the BOA. And the fourth line is going to be Ryan McLeod with Brad Malone and Derek Ryan. Philip Broberg was recalled from Bakersfield. Devin Shore sent down. Unsure if that's like a salary cap thing. And we'll see. I honestly haven't seen anyone talk about if Broberg's like a legit recall and if Shore's legit going down, or if this is again just like a money thing to make the cap work. But Philip Broberg, if they go 11-7 tomorrow, Broberg might find his way into the lineup. We will see. What do you think of the new line combos, though? I kind of like it. I think Zach Hyman was definitely their hardest working forward. I won't say most impactful forward because Connor McDavid scored 3 goals. And Evander Kane made that unbelievable pass as well. So like he's definitely up there. But Zach Hyman, he was their hardest working forward. So I like that he's getting the bump up with 97. Thought Puljujarvi had a decent game. Bit of a ticky-tack penalty on him. He missed a chance backdoor, but for the most part, he was good. Draisaitl, Kane, Yamamoto, I don't hate that. Dylan Holloway, ease the pressure off him, playing with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I think that third line has some potential. I'm going to be watching Warren Foegele really closely as well. He needs to have a bounce back season. He still scored north of 10 goals last year, but the expectations were certainly higher. And I want to see him just be more consistently in the battle, if you kind of know what I'm saying. I want to see him bang some bodies, get in hard on the forecheck. If him and Holloway can be like the Bash brothers on that third line and just make life miserable for those Flames defensemen like Rasmus Anderson when they're going back for the puck. I think that'd be really good. And Nuge could kind of, just float in and do his Nuge kind of stuff with the puck. Holloway, Fogle, forecheck hard, create some space for Nugent Hopkins. Maybe that third line has the potential to score some goals. Kyle says, where's Kane? He's next to Leon Draisaitl and Kyler Yamamoto. I don't know if I read that or if I forgot to read that. Dangerous Wade, how long can Shore hang out with the team for? Can they just send him down and he stays with the team? I think he can. I think he could be like, hey, I'm not going down to Bakersfield. They could just let him vibe in the room, but he wouldn't be allowed to skate or practice, I believe. Probably makes sense, honestly, to not send him down. And then if someone's sick, you can recall him on an emergency basis or something. I think there's a way to make all that work. Mike says he doesn't like McLeod on the fourth line, would rather have someone like Shore there. Yeah, that's fair. But then what are you going to do? Move McLeod to the third line with Nuge and Holloway, scratch Malone and put Fogle on the fourth line, right? The nice part about depth, or the ugly side of having depth, I should say, is that someone good has to play on the fourth line. And the thing that worries me, and this is where I'll agree with you, Mike, having McLeod on the fourth line scares me because Jay Woodcroft, sometimes when the game gets going, feels like he kind of forgets to play his fourth line at 5-on-5 sometimes. So I'd be mildly concerned that, McLeod's not going to get a ton of ice time down there. There is something else I wanted to cover today. We're going to keep talking about all this with Bag Milk, but we're talking about early season overreactions and all of that stuff. Mine would be that this Oilers blue line is not good enough. And they should probably start just taking a little bit of a look, trying to see which defenseman could be available on the market. So I went and I did some work for you. There's a few defensemen I like. Top of the list. This is going to be my guy this year. In the past, I've wanted the Oilers to get Tristan Jarry. Ricard Raquel is still my boy, even though he signed long-term in Pittsburgh. I always kind of latch on to someone who I always say is going to be the best in-season move for the Oilers that season. This year, that guy is Carson Soucy. It is without a doubt Carson Soucy. Seattle is still going to be bad. They're going to be sellers. He's an Alberta boy, 1 year, $2.75 million, shutdown, left shot D-man. He would make this blue line perfect. If you could run him and Barry on the third pairing, I would love it. Carson Soucy is my guy this year. He is number one, top of the list, number one trade target. Jacob Chikrin would be up there, but I don't view him as realistic. Soucy, in terms of realistic and what he'd bring and the fit, all of that, Carson Soucy's number one. 28-year-old Alberta boy, bring him home. The other guy I like, and this one is interesting. He played with the LA Kings last year. Olli Maatta. He doesn't get a lot of talk as being a really solid defender, but I looked at some of the numbers, and he is. At 5-on-5 last season with the LA Kings, his Corsi for was above 50%. His shots for was above 50%. His numbers were really, really good. He's not going to bring you any sort of offense, but he's young, 28 years old. Same with Soucy. He's got 1 year at $2.25 million. So the Oilers are strapped for cap space. They got no money to spend. If Detroit is out of the race, and 6'2", 210 pounds, right? Like a big body. I liked him in the playoffs as well when they went head-to-head with the Oilers. Olli Maatta is like my watch list guy. He's not getting talked about a lot. Detroit thinks they're going to contend as well. And that's a big part of this. Detroit's going to try to push for the playoffs. So no guarantee that they even want to, even if they're out of the race, no guarantee they'd want to move a 28-year-old Olli Maatta. Maybe they view him as a long-term piece, former first-round pick. But Olli Maatta is a guy I'd watch. And because I don't trust myself with this stuff, I even sent a text to NHL Sid, our resident analytics expert, and I said, can I like Olli Maatta? I asked for his permission. I was like, is it okay for me to like Olli Maatta? And he said, good defensive metrics at 5-on-5. His penalty killing results are even better. That's good. And he allows shorthanded chances at a lower rate than any Oilers D. Maatta is also quite good at denying zone entries and rush chances. He would definitely be a good defensive left D option. So if you can't get Soucy, and Soucy's probably going to cost you similar to Kulak, I think, is the range. Maybe Olli Maatta costs you less than that, and he can be just as effective. So I like Maatta. I like Soucy. And there's also a watch list I threw together. This is just basically guys who are on teams that could be out of the playoffs and are pending UFAs. That was the criteria I used. So we can flash that up here. John Klingberg's at the top. Apparently, the Oilers like him. I think he's too expensive. I think he's going to cost too much to acquire. He's a right shot. You wouldn't be using him on the power play because you have Barry and Bouchard. So unless it's Barry out the door, Klingberg in kind of thing, I don't see Klingberg as a great fit. Soucy's a great fit. Damon Severson, same thing. Not a great fit. Again, shoots right, but he's young. He's all right. Vladislav Gavrikov from Columbus is an interesting one because he's young. And if Columbus is out of the race and is like, hey, we just need to get picks, we need picks, I'd have time for Gavrikov. Ryan Graves, I don't think he moves either. But again, pending UFA D-man, shoots left on a team, New Jersey, that could be out of the race. Scott Mayfield's another one. He shoots right. I don't know how well he could play the left side. But these are just the list of pending UFA defensemen on teams that might miss the playoffs. They're the other watch list guys. Throw Nick Holden on that list in Ottawa as well. Good St. Albert boy. Got to give some love to a nice St. Albert boy. So that's my rant or my discussion about defensemen to watch. We're going to be talking about trade rumors a lot on the show because I like that kind of stuff. Carson Soucy is officially my boy, though. Speaking of my boy, let's get to our guest segment. It's the Bro Down with Bagged Milk. It's Friday. Let's go.
It's Friday, so you know what that means? It's time for the Bro Down with Bagged Milk.
Was that a nice transition for you, Bagged Milk? My boy.
That was really nice. I like that. Thank you.
Are you in the alpha?
I'm not in the alpha, though next Friday I will do it inside the alpha.
Me and you are going to do some fun content inside that beautiful vehicle as well, so people can look forward to that.
Yeah, we're going to do I think it'd be fun to drive around a little bit and do kind of like an Ask Me Anything like we did on our trip to Jasper. I like when people ask us questions. I think we always have good answers. And if we can cruise around in a nice whip, then we're having a good time. That's a good day at the office.
Yes, it is. As if we don't do enough content together already. 4 podcasts a week, this live hit. Oh, that's a 5 podcasts a week, actually, once ONR goes up to twice a week starting next week on Tuesdays. People can look forward to that. I don't know if you were in already, but I just rattled off some defensemen that I think would be good targets. Anyone there you like? And second part of the question, is left D going to be the biggest need for this team at the deadline?
I'll answer the second part first. Yes. And I didn't think it was going to be that way. I thought it was going to be the right side that needed the most work as we kind of work through the season, but I think it is going to be the left side. And I think that's because, and I watched what Gregor said on your show yesterday with Philip Broberg going down, and I know he got recalled today. Who knows what's actually happening there? I'm guessing Oilers go 11-7 tomorrow, but I think that just kind of showed this guy's spot was almost kind of written in ink before the season started. Maybe we needed to slow it down a little bit. So I think that the left side is going to be a priority. And I'm going to say Carson Soucy's my guy too, because they've already got a jersey made. We know it's there. We already saw it. Carson Soucy is my guy.
He should be everyone's guy. Carson Soucy, good Alberta boy. And so if I don't hate their blue line right now, and I don't want this to come off as me being like, oh, their blue line sucks, it stinks, blah, blah, blah. If you're playing one of Murray or Broberg every day, you're fine. But what do we know about playoff hockey? People always get hurt. Darnell Nurse was skating on one leg throughout the entire playoffs last year. If Nurse or Kulak were to go down with any sort of a significant injury, what would your left side look like? Murray's going to play top 4 minutes. Broberg's going to play top 4 minutes. That's not championship caliber, and that's what the Oilers need to be. So that's where I'm coming out with the D thing is they're probably fine right now. But if you want to win a Stanley Cup, you need to be more than fine, and that's just sort of my point there.
Yeah, they're fine. They're passable. They're going to get into the playoffs with this defensive group. But like you said, we've got bigger goals than just making the playoffs these days. And I think they need an upgrade. And I think everybody knows it. Our forwards looking real good. No problem up front for me. In net, super excited about the tandem that we've got in Campbell and Skinner. I just think there's room for upgrades on the back end. And if we can make it work underneath the cap, we're going to have to do some magic here for sure to make it happen. But that is an area that we need some love. And yes, we're talking about the left side, but if you could also, and I'm trading Barry again, but if you could also flip Barry for more of a shutdown style guy on the right side, I think you probably investigate that as well.
Yeah, the dream deal, and I don't think it's available. I don't think Seattle would do it, but if you could move Barry for Soucy or move Barry somewhere for a pick, bring in Soucy, then also go get a Scott Mayfield or a guy for the right side as well. I just think you'd have such a nice complete blue line. Although I recognize Barry, important part of the core there, gets along with everyone in the room. To his credit, he was good in the playoffs too. So I don't always want to be running Barry at it. Just it's the cap hit, and then that'll always be it.
Well, that's just the thing too. It's really important to say when we're trading Tyson Barrie right now, it's not because we don't think that he's going to be a productive member of this hockey team. It's just that you look at the guy that's playing either ahead of him or right with him on that right side, and their skill set is so similar that I just don't know that you need both Bouchard and Barrie. And unfortunately, like you said, Barrie's just more expensive. I'm not running him out of town. I think he's a serviceable player. He played well in the playoffs. He's going to do well for us on the power play if he and Bouchard are split in time. It's just that the makeup on the back end. Like, here's the thing, Tyler. If we had an opportunity, and I don't even have a name for you, I'm just kind of like pie in the sky in here. If we had the opportunity to bring in a Niemelainen type on the right side, a guy with a little bit more experience that, you know, that can hit, that plays physical, I think you have to explore that. And I'm not saying a rookie like Niemelainen, I'm just saying that style of player. I think the Oilers need a little bit more jam on the back end, and a guy who is, you know, he's not going to score, but what he is going to do is he's going to keep the puck out of the net.
Yeah, we're definitely on the same page with that. We got a question in here from the chat. Who was it? Steve Simons, not to be confused with Steve Simmons. He says, Bag Milk, who is your completely under the radar surprise this year, or the answer? Who do you think's getting the answer belt first?
Well, we've built out the answer belt. It's ready. At that Nation HQ, Justin Bieber is keeping it warm for the time being. Now, who could be the answer? Everybody thinks it's going to be Dylan Holloway, but I don't, and I've said this on Oilers Nation Radio, I don't think that's fair to him just yet. He's a rookie. If he comes in and steals the belt, then hey, we've got a lot of time for that. But you know who my pick is? I'm going to tell you. It's Jesse Puljujarvi. He could be the answer. Yes, he got robbed in game one, that backdoor play. Obviously, you want that to go in, but Thatcher Demko made a nice play on it. You got to give the goaltender some credit too. So I think that Yessa, if he sticks up there with Connor on that first line, I heard you talking to Liam about the line combos, he's got a chance to do stuff that nobody expects from him this year, and I'm really hoping he executes on it. That would be my dream scenario. Second pick, Ryan McLeod. I just got a ton of time for that guy. A ton of time for Ryan McLeod, so he would be my second pick.
John says Campbell is the answer. I know you are close personal friends with Jack Campbell now, so you would probably agree with that as well. Credited with a hit, thanks to Matt Iwanek, who confirmed that for me, that yes, up in the press box, they did say Jack Campbell was given a hit by the stats keepers. Mike Smith could never. He could never.
Campbell battles, baby. That's all we needed to know. And he went out in game one and absolutely destroyed that dude. I don't even know the guy's name. That's how hard Campbell hit him. Put him into next week, I'd say.
He's so much more and I don't want to keep like ragging on people, but like he's so much more likable than Mike Smith. Like Schmitty battled, and that was fun. But like Campbell's smiley, he's tapping teammates on the shin pads, he's laying hits. Like I love him.
Think about game one, Wednesday night. 2 goals in the first 3-4 minutes? If that was Mike Smith, he is fucking screaming at everybody on the ice. He doesn't care. He's yelling at you. He's staring you down in the crowd, Tyler, because he knows you're against him somewhere. Meanwhile, Jack Campbell, he's just having a good time. He's like, you know what, boys? We're going to shake it off. We're okay, guys. He's giving stick taps everywhere. And then what does the guy do? He shuts the door. He locks it down, makes some huge saves, keeps the Oilers in the game, allows them to get their feet under him. He did what we want from our starter, and he did it without yelling at anybody. And for me, I'm a very soft millennial these days, Tyler. I really like my feelings tendered to or taken care of, and I feel like Jack Campbell's going to do that for all of us. I'm tired of being yelled at.
You know what we should do this year? For every Jack Campbell shutout, we should go and donate we should get everyone to start doing this. Donate like a 12-pack of Campbell soup to the food bank or something.
Fuck yeah, let's do that. 100%. Let's do it.
That's a good idea. Okay, did you hear my rant? Did you hear my rant about the Evander Kane thing earlier on? Like, people are throwing this guy parade.
What I heard is that you think Evander Kane is a bad teammate and that he's a bad guy and that the only reason anybody's giving him any love is that he gets an assist, whereas I think that he is a sparkling beacon of hope on this team, and his selflessness on that play to Connor McDavid deserves rainbows, it deserves a parade, it deserves a statue, and it deserves twice the amount of articles and thoughts and radio hits that are being done about a simple 5-foot backhand pass. I think Evander Kane should have a statue out front next to Wayne with him in the pose of that backhand pass to Connor. That's what I think. I don't think that is too much. I think that's what he deserves. I think anything less is disrespectful.
Yeah. Good hit. Do they win tomorrow? What's your score prediction?
Of course. 4-2, baby. Let's go.
All right. And again, we do have the Oilers Nation watch party coming up. Thanks for doing this, buddy. I'll see you in the office.
Anytime.
All right, let's get to the wrap. Betting talk to wrap up the show today, because we only got about 5 minutes left. That was a great segment with Bagged Milk. And I also choked on my coffee. I'm sure most of you saw that. That was embarrassing. Anyways, let's bring in Liam here to chat a little Betway betting. Liam, Friday night slate in the NHL. What do you got?
We're hoping for a bounce back, to say the least. One of the picks I have was the Winnipeg Jets in their home opener of the New York Rangers, minus 125. I feel like they've got that bounce back in them this season. You know, they got a new head coach, home opener. And with that, I'm going to go with a Kyle Connor anytime goal, plus 140. I mean, he's one of the best scorers in the league. It's not bad value for what it is. So there you go. That's I'm on the Winnipeg Jets tonight.
It's actually, the Rangers played last night, and they put up 7 on the St. Louis, or on the Minnesota Wild. But they're probably going to have to go Jaro Halak tonight, I'm assuming, with the back-to-back. So Halak versus Hellebuck, like, that right there is a good enough matchup. I don't hate that. The fact that books are undervaluing 40-goal guy Kyle Connor like that, plus 140, I think that's a great spot as well. My bets today on Daily Face-Off Live, I am going with a Hurricanes Lightning parlay. Going with those two. Braden Point to get an assist. And also, the Brent Burns shot prop is free money tonight. And see, John in our chat, who yesterday was the only one of us who got a pick right. So everyone just listen to him. Don't listen to us. He nailed the Brinket shot prop yesterday. He's going with the Burns shot prop as well. Over 2.5 shots. His last 4 games, 6-4-4-4. Easy money. Easy money, Liam. So yeah, that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm going Lightning, Hurricanes parlay, Burns shot prop, tailing John. And I'm also going to go Braden Point assist. I like your Kyle Connor bet as well, though. Also, weekend coming up, football. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm actually, you know what? I'm keeping one close to home here. I'm going with our Elks, plus 190 on the money line. I mean, come on. The Elks haven't won a game at Commonwealth Stadium as the Elks. However, the Toronto Argonauts, I believe, haven't won a game in Edmonton in 7 years. One of these streaks has got to end. So tomorrow night, I'm putting my money on the Edmonton Elks to come out on top. And then I'm on the Cooper Rush train for Sunday Night Football too. And I'm going to go Cowboys spread versus Eagles. Hey, Cooper Rush has come in, and everyone thought the Cowboys were going to lose every single game. And they're a very good team with him in. So you got to ride the Rush train. I don't know if they'll win, but I think they'll keep it within a touchdown.
I have 3 NFL bets this weekend. 2 of them I'm very, very confident in. Teasing the Bucks down to -3 and the Falcons to +11 and playing those two together at -120. So Bucks Falcons 6-point teaser, and then Chargers Rams Bengals moneyline parlay +205. I like that. I think those 3 teams should win. The Bengals straight up on the money line at -130, I think, is a really good play as well. But Chargers, Rams, Bengals, and then also, because I'm a Bills guy, go Bills. Big game Sunday at Arrowhead against Kansas City Chiefs. Josh Allen over 295.5 passing yards. Those are my 3 NFL bets. Bucks, Falcons teaser, Chargers, Rams, Bengals parlayed, Allen over 295.5. Oiler fan says, let's go Elks. So there you go, Liam. John says you're lighting money on fire.
I was going to say, you missed the comment above that. Yeah. Lighting money on fire. Hey, we'll review on Monday.
Yes, of course we will. And I think we might have Brock on Monday, so we'll talk some betting with Brock as well. Steve says, Tyler, I'm in Vegas next week. What puck bets do I need to make? Steve, just watch this show, and we'll give you bets next week. 11 a.m. Vegas time. Set a reminder. You won't miss it. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Then you really won't miss it. Your phone will blow up when we go live. Brent says, what's the choice for betting app? Betway. Betway. Head to Betway. Sign up. All right, BOA tomorrow. We are going to have a show at noon. It'll be a bit of a different vibe. We'll just chat for 15, 20 minutes about the game, and we'll get some takes. But you can look forward to that tomorrow. We'll come up live once again on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, live from the Sports Closet studio. I always point at it wrong when I look in the camera. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow to set up the BOA with a quick little weekend edition of Oilers Nation every day. Enjoy the games tonight, though. Enjoy your Friday night. Thanks for tuning in this week. We did really well. The chat was bumping on YouTube. I love it. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I don't know. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up, Liam. We're good. We're good.